So as someone who cares a lot about relationships, I spend a lot of time, of course, in conversations, whether it's with people who I've known for years and we catch up every few months, or with a lot of new connections that come up. Oftentimes it waxes and wanes between those. Right now, for example, I'm having a lot of, I would say, relationship building conversations. And at first glance, of course, when you're meeting someone new, there tends to be this feeling that, we have to stick with the script, right? Start off with some basic small talk. How's your day going? How are you? What's new? And then get into business conversation, right? What's on our LinkedIn profile or something like that. I would invite you to think about that very initial opening of the conversation as an opportunity to completely set a different tone. And this can just be by asking a different question. Now, if you do that, a few things happen. One, it gets them to open up. If you ask the right question, it gets them to open up at a very deeper level. Two, it gets you the opportunity of you opening up at a deeper level, which of course allows you to build and maintain a deeper relationship with them too. And three, and I think this is the biggest one, is that it sets a different tone. It shows, oh, this isn't going to be like the other 16 Zoom calls I've had in the past 48 hours, or the 5 coffee meetings I've had this week. This is going to be a little bit different. So it's very simple. Ask a different question when you sit down. Now, I'll tell you the question that really works for me the most. And I've been using this over the past, probably say 6 months or so. And of course, I may change the question I use if I get bored of talking about it. The next time, instead of saying, hey, how's it going? Or hey, how are you today? Start off right from the bat asking, hey, so what's the highlight of your week so far? And I can tell you, it always starts off, and you may have this too, they of course already had the pre-programmed answer to, hey, how's it going? They've said it 15 times already in the past 72 hours. And it actually causes them to stop and think. And then they'll share something. It may be, they have to sit for 5 or 6 seconds and they say, I don't really know. And you can say, listen, while you're thinking, I'm happy to share mine. In which case it gives you the opportunity to be a little more vulnerable, which gets them to mirror that appropriately, or they'll jump right into it. And I find one of a few things happen. They may share, as is commonplace, something professional. They've gotten a lot of great work done today. They had a great project. They had a closing yesterday. Great. You can cheer on those. They may share something personal. So for example, when people were asking me a few weeks ago what the highlight of my week was, I didn't share something professional, even though there were things I was excited about. I shared that I had found a new exercise for my knees, for strengthening my knees, that had really started making a difference. And now all of a sudden, instead of just like jumping right into business talk, we talked about fitness and aging bodies and everything like that. And already we started to build that human relationship. Of course, sometimes you can tell people start to kind of grimace with this. I can say and quickly follow up saying, hey, listen, by the way, highlight doesn't necessarily have to be a positive thing. I was on a call yesterday where someone who, again, it seemed more of like a information providing call, like they were seeking some kind of guidance from me. They simply responded, you know what? Honestly, the highlight was that I woke up this morning. And I can tell, all right, this person's had a really rough week. I can be a little more lighter in the conversation. And I was able to empathize. I was able to follow up with, for example, with an anecdote that my grandfather used to share, that he would open up the newspaper and if he didn't see his name in the obituary, he would say it was going to be a great day. That, of course, like lightens the mood and everything like that. So remember, we don't always have to stick with the script. And the simplest change, just a question you ask, can make all the difference. So as you think about it, what are the questions that you can ask? What is the way that you can start off a conversation that will completely flip the script?